Once in the forest you'll find a fabulous banquet, a fairy ball. If you close your eyes and you open your mind, the veil disappears and you'll see it all.
Hi my angels, it's Hailey Reese, and oh my goodness, this has been probably to date on my YouTube channel the longest time I have ever went without uploading. But I went to New York with Lovey and Andrew. I went to LA with Lovey after. We have so many videos coming for you guys. They're just gonna take a lot of editing. So long story short, I am officially back and I am ready to start filming and uploading almost every day for you guys. I have missed it so dearly, and it just means the world that you're all still here. As you guys know, on my channel, I have heavily dove into all of the paranormal cases that Ed and Lorraine Warren have investigated, and just basically anything and everything to do with Ed and Lorraine Warren. One of which was actually one of my favorites, and that was the true story behind Annabelle. Now, as you guys know, if you've seen that video, we talked about how Annabelle the Haunted Doll now resides in the Warrens Occult Museum, which is where the most haunted, demonic, and terrifying artifacts from their many paranormal investigations reside. Many of these items actually come from extremely dangerous occult activities, and they can only be contained in the Warrens Occult Museum. Now, the other day I had a long flight and I had a ton of internet to use up, so I actually decided to just do some diving into the Warrens Occult Museum and learn about a bunch of different artifacts that reside in the Warrens Occult Museum that aren't as widely known. Like Annabelle we all know about, but I wanted to dive into what else they had in there that was haunted enough to need to be contained in this museum. And what I found was insane. So I decided, why not start a new series here on my channel where we dive into the less talked about, the less widely known artifacts at the Ed and Lorraine Occult Museum or the Warren Occult Museum. And I thought, what better to start out with than the Doll of Shadows. Now, this doll is absolutely terrifying and scares me 10 times, or no, 100 times more than Annabelle ever could. But I do want to let you guys know, for those of you who are going to ask in the comments below, no, seeing a picture of this doll in my video once I show you it is not going to unleash a curse on you. The doll is not going to visit you in your dreams, and I will get into why after, but you absolutely do not have to worry about your safety while watching this video. Now, the shadow doll is only a few feet tall, and it wears a black cloak. Now, the mouth of this doll is always open in a way as though this doll is screaming, and it just sends chills down anybody who takes a single glance at this doll. The doll has tiny black eyes that when you look into them, it feels and looks as though the doll is essentially staring into your soul, which is so creepy. Now, unlike Annabelle, this doll actually appears to be horrifying, but it's not kept in glass confinement. It's not kept in a case like Annabelle is. This doll is actually kept in the open in the Warrens Occult Museum, which is super, super, super unsettling to me. But I do have faith and believe that the Warrens, or now Lorraine Warren, knows what to do when it comes to where each haunted artifact should be stored and how it should be contained. Now, this doll was made through black magic rituals and is now referred to as the Doll of Shadows, but some people refer to the doll as the Shadow Doll. Either way, we get the point. It's like a doll of shadows. It is said to have human bones and animal bones throughout it. It has human teeth, or particularly that human tooth, and it has human nails, all of which has been confirmed by medical professionals, which is so creepy to wonder whose bones they are and why they're a part of it. Also, whose fingernails and whose tooth. It's just, it leaves so much room for question, and it's really scary to think that it's been confirmed by a medical professional. Its hair is said to be made by the feathers of crows, which is all the more creepy because crows are more typically known as the bird of death, which ties into what Ed Warren in particular thought about this doll and just gives me a really unsettling feeling. Overall, it is commonly known and incredibly stressed by Lorraine Warren that this doll was created with extremely evil purposes, and this doll has a power within it that it could even make its way into your nightmares, and it has stopped people's hearts in the nightmares. Now, Ed Warren claimed that the powers of this doll were so unearthly that it was created in such a manner that even by sending a physical picture of this doll with just a simple curse on the back of it could cause the doll to harm you, make its way into your dreams, stop your heart, but in even lighter cases, it just permanently destroy your life. The powers of this doll are that strong and horrifying. Now, it's believed that the doll was actually created to stay with its creator. This wasn't a doll that was ever meant to be gifted to somebody to unleash the magic. This wasn't a doll that was supposed to be put onto somebody else. It was meant to have stayed with its creator. And how the creator was thought to have unleashed all of the dark magic that was put into it, the evil that was put into the doll, was through images. It is thought that the creator of this doll would take a picture of the doll and write a curse on the back of the picture. Then they would mail it out to the person they intended to cause harm to, and once that person opened up the picture, looked at the picture, and looked at the curse, the doll was permanently unleashed onto them. The magic will be done, and the doll will be able to go into the person's dreams. Now, this is the part I want to stress to you guys, that this is not going to happen to you by looking at this picture of this doll. There was a specific curse, which none of us know of, that was written on the back, that was sent out, and while the doll was being created, there were particular people in mind that this doll was meant to cause harm to, and if the creator were to discover somebody new they wanted to cause harm upon, they would be doing rituals on their end as well for that person. So you guys looking at this picture is not going to unleash this doll's horrifying dark magic onto you. I want to stress that because I don't want any of you to be afraid. This doll is not going to come into your dreams. The doll is not going to stop your heartbeat, but that is what the creator of this doll and the doll were doing to people within their lives. Now, nobody knows who the creator of this doll is. Nobody knows where it originated from or how many people it went through until it found its way to Ed and Lorraine Warren, but we do know the story prior to it making its way to Ed and Lorraine Warren, and that was that a couple who collects dolls found this doll at an antique shop, and the antique shop owner practically threw this doll onto them and said, "Take this doll," and they were pretty ecstatic because it seemed to be a really interesting addition to their collection. Now, upon receiving this doll, after the first night, they awoke to scratches all over their bodies. By the second night, they had claw marks everywhere, and by the third night, this continued, but now the doll was making its way into their dreams, staring into them and causing pressure into their chests. So they decided that it had to be the doll and they needed to get rid of it. Now, the couple actually knew of Ed and Lorraine Warren, so they reached out to the Warrens to come to their home and investigate the doll. Right away, you guys, Lorraine Warren was like, this doll is surrounded by a magic more evil than you could even dream up. And that's when the couple said, "Please, take this doll, we don't want it any longer," and the Warrens decided to take the doll and contain it within the Warrens Occult Museum. So that is essentially how the Warrens wound up with the doll, but nobody has any clue whatsoever or any idea where the doll had been prior to this, where the owner came from, what the intentions were. They just know that this doll had a horrifying history to it that maybe it's better off we don't know. Now, a doll like this that is filled with so much malicious magic could never be destroyed. The person who would destroy this doll would wind up unleashing all of the evil spirits and the evil magic, and once these spirits leave what is essentially referred to by Ed Warren as their home, which would be the doll, who are they going to go to but the person who destroyed the doll? It would be detrimental to that person, but it would also be horrifying to unleash something like this out into the world. So it is better off that the doll resides in the Warrens Occult Museum, where it can be unharmed and continuously blessed to contain its evil powers. And to this day, the Doll of Shadows remains in the Warrens Occult Museum. Obviously, Ed Warren has since then passed, but Lorraine Warren makes sure to keep this doll contained and away from the outside world. Now, what's all the more terrifying is the fact that that is all the information that we have on this doll of shadows. There isn't real backstory behind it. It's not like Annabelle where we know everything that happened and kind of the progression of this doll. All we know is that this doll has been created in a way that seems so horrifying. This doll has done terrifying things to people, and Lorraine Warren has assured everybody that this is one of the most dark and cursed dolls in the occult museum next to Annabelle. Well, you guys, that is it for the doll of shadows. Like I said, don't be afraid that by hearing about or seeing this particular doll that's going to unleash onto you. I just thought it was interesting that I had personally never heard of this doll before until I really dove into the Warren's Occult Museum. There are so many artifacts in that museum that a lot of us know nothing about, so I'm really excited to bring that here onto my channel and to discuss with you guys all of the different artifacts in the museum. Make sure to drop a comment down below if this is something you guys are excited for. Let me know if there's any particular items in the museum you want me to cover. But most of all, please drop a comment down below letting me know if you've heard of the Doll of Shadows before and what your opinion on this doll is. I know that I would never want to be in the same vicinity as this doll. I can promise you that right now. Well, you guys, that is it for today's video. I am so happy to be back. I have missed you guys so dearly. I love you all so much. If you are new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed but you do enjoy my videos, I would absolutely love it if you go ahead and click that subscribe button. I post a ton of videos, I promise, and I really don't want you to miss out if you do enjoy my content. On that note, if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up because it makes my heart really happy, and I just super appreciate knowing that you guys enjoy my content. So please do that. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness. And until next time, I love you.